So as you can see, I'm pretty much done with all of my labeling in here. One thing I did want to point out is all my plants are connected with an interlocking line in between if they're a group of plants to let the contractor know how I want those planted. Also note that all of my text is aligned whenever possible. I have all of these leaders and text labels over here all aligned, and that is really easy to do just by using the align tool and align to left. Over here I have it slightly offset just because it didn't fit with this tree symbol here. And then on this side I have them all aligned to the right. So be cognizant of that. Try to get those aligned neatly so that your drawing reads a lot clearer. Now, there's one last leader that I still need to draw, and it's the one for this big tree here. Normally I would come off to the shortest distance out to the white space here, but I can't do that because it would be crossing over this line of shrubs that I have here. So I have the option of either pulling out a line out here into the lawn space, or doing kind of an angled line, and I'm just going to demonstrate how to do that here real quick. First I'm going to just select one of these leaders so that I already have the settings in place, and now with the pen tool selected I'm just going to go ahead and draw freehand in here my leader. And actually, just to make it look nice, I'm going to try to get it as parallel to the brick path as possible, just visually. And then for the horizontal portion of my leader, I would just hold the shift key again to constrain it. And I can see that my smart guides are not turned on actually, so I'm going to escape out of this command for a second. And I'm going to go under view and turn on smart guides, because that's going to allow me to snap to this point. So you can see here that even though this line segment stopped, with the pen tool active I can go back and hover over this anchor point, and you can see that the pointer for the pen will change immediately from a star to a dash right here when I go over that anchor. And what that's doing is just telling me, do you want to continue this line? And I do, so I'm just going to click right there. And now my line as I continue to draw is actually connected to that anchor point already for me. And with my smart guides I can see that it's intersecting to align with the leader lines above, so I'm just going to click here and hit escape to end the command. That just makes it so much easier. That way I know that it's already aligned with the things that are above me. And I would just select this text, hold the Alt key, hold the Shift key to make sure that it's all working vertically, and just drop it right there. Now this is a little bit messy here just because this line is crossing over all of these other lines. It's still legible, but perhaps a better option might be to just come off straight to the other side and have a label right on the lawn. And right now this is drawing just a vector, but it has no color, no stroke color, no fill color. So I'm going to use the eyedropper tool and just pick one of these lines that I already drew so it can match the stroke thickness and the stroke color. And I'm just going to copy one of these guys over here. Again, hold the Alt key. And just move this guy over here. And we want that to be caps. And that might be a better solution. Okay, and now that I'm done with all my labels, I can go ahead and export this as a PDF file. And the way we do that is we'll go and say File, Save As. under the Save As type, we'll just select PDF and select the location and just save. Now on these settings, depending on which settings you select, the file size will be larger or smaller. Preserving Illustrator editing capabilities is one of those that will make your file size larger, so we're going to uncheck that. This one also makes your file size larger, so we're going to uncheck that. I'm going to select this. This will make it smaller. And we don't really need it to create layers for us, so I'm going to uncheck this as well. Just so that you know, you don't have to be unchecking and checking these every time that you export a file. You can actually save a preset, and the presets are up here. And you can save the preset by just clicking on this button up here. That way you can load your own save presets if you like. If we go under compression, this has to do with the image compression. So it'll control how much resolution any images that you have imported into your Illustrator file will receive. So right now for this, I'm going to select do not downsample to any of them, because every time you downsample, it'll lower the quality of your image. And I know that this is going to be a relatively small file. But if you were ever concerned about your PDF file size, you can always come in here and select Bicubic downsampling. And basically what that's doing is that it's resampling the image to a different resolution. So for this one, for example, any images above 225 pixels per inch will be downsampled to 150 pixels per inch. And you can control that, and there's also compression formats that you want to use if you like. And this one's for color images, this is for grayscale images, and this is for monochrome images, but we're going to select do not downsample for this. It is very important that you have this box checked though. This is compressing the text and line art. It'll still have a really good result even if you have this checked, and if you have it unchecked, it'll just make your file size a lot bigger, so always have this checked. We don't really need to worry about marks and bleeds, but this would add tick marks on the edges of your paper for if you're cutting it for a full bleed. And we're also not going to be worrying about our output. Okay. This security tab is pretty important. A lot of the times people will be able to steal your original artwork off of a PDF file. So sometimes you want to use a password to restrict editing. I'm just going to put password in here. And basically this allows you to do several things. Whether or not you'll allow user to print this. Whether you'll allow a user to make any changes. So for example, inserting or deleting pages. This is something that someone with a license of Adobe Acrobat could potentially do to your file. So if you want to keep it exactly the same as it is, you can say no changes allowed. Do not enable copying of text, images, and other content. And this one you should always keep checked because this is an accessibility option for the visually impaired. Okay, now everything else looks good, and I'm just going to click on Save PDF. Okay, and this is my end result. And you can see that it's a secured file because Adobe Acrobat opens it with a secured label on the top. Thanks for watching.